Hey guys, it's Leanne. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, big welcome. If you're not new, then of course, welcome back. And thank you for returning and hopefully subscribing by now. So yeah, before we jump in, can I just please ask that everyone subscribes and follows me on Instagram, which I will leave on screen. Today's Foundation Friday, I will be reviewing the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation, shade 7.5. It is a little bit too deep for my skin tone, but once all the other skin products are on, it actually does seem to blend quite well. I think this is one of the most hyped foundations ever from the high-end perspective anyway. It claims that it's an oil-free hydrating fluid, claims to have microfill technology, which sculpts and brightens the skin, improves texture and blurs imperfections, says that it has all-day buildable coverage and gives a glowing, perfect looking skin. I will be doing a wear test, so we will see if this product stands up in about 7 hours, and then we can be the judge together. I'm going to be using the Primark PS Liquid Glow Liquid Illuminator as a primer in the shade Copper Flame. Oh yeah, that just gives a little bit of a glow to the skin. I'm going to be taking my foundation, doing a few pumps on my little palette, which actually saves product, because if you put it onto your hand or directly onto a beauty sponge, your hand and your skin will soak up some of the product, as will your beauty sponge. The product is quite runny. To blend this foundation in, on one side I'm going to be using a brush, and on the other side I'm going to be using a beauty blender, just to see whether the sponge works best or the brush. When you apply foundation with a brush, it gives you a more full coverage than a beauty blender. Because this is a luminous foundation, I feel like it's only fair to give it a beauty blender as well, to see if that is too much, to see if that takes away too much product and shears it out too much. This is the Peaches and Creams brush. Unfortunately, the numbers have worn off. And this beauty blender is damp as well. And I'm not sure if it's showing up on camera, but straight away it's definitely not full coverage. Be interesting to see if it takes away the redness around the nose though. Now I really do love this foundation. It really photographs very well, and never had any problems with it, like in terms of fading or anything like that. Does anyone notice a difference so far in how each side has applied? Can we notice a difference in like coverage? Or so on the forehead, I'm definitely going to need another layer because I've got quite a bit of redness. So on the side that I'm doing now, I'm not doing circular motions or swiping or rubbing. I'm just literally patting this into the skin. And I think I used about 2 or 3 pumps, maybe 4 maximum. From my little palette, this is actually going quite a long way. I've managed to do both sides of the face and the neck, and I've still got quite a bit left. So even though this foundation is expensive, it does actually seem like you don't need to use that much product. So if the price puts you off, which is understandable, just know that you actually don't need to use a lot of product each time. Up to now, I think that this foundation is definitely just a full coverage foundation. Did I say full coverage then? So far up to now, I don't think that this foundation is a full coverage foundation or can be built up to be full coverage. I think it's definitely a medium coverage foundation. As you can see here, it has not fully covered the blemishes under here. I'm going to try one more layer. So if anyone is looking for a full coverage high-end foundation, then this is not the one. It definitely does not seem full coverage enough to actually correct any colour. This is red, a red blemish, and it's just showing up as red. I'm not sure if it's showing up on camera, but in real life, it's just showing up as red. It's definitely not full coverage enough to, if anyone has any problems with pigmentation in the skin, I feel like this, unless you used colour correction first underneath the foundation, I feel like this is not gonna be the right woman for the job. But so far, I actually love how the skin is looking. And so far, it's not actually setting in any fine lines. I actually do see a difference myself personally between both sides in terms of coverage. I think this side is definitely more full coverage, the side of the brush. I feel it looks a bit darker than this side, but definitely more full coverage. So this Foundation Friday is going to be a little bit different today. I would normally just do the rest of the skin products off camera and check back in when I'd applied the rest of the makeup. I'm actually going to be applying the rest of my face makeup today because I've got so many products, new products that I actually want to talk about. e.l.f. 16-hour Camo Concealer. I'm going to be giving this another try, as if you watched my e.l.f. versus e.l.f. Battle of the Concealers video, you will know that this one just did not go down well at all. This one, just watch the video. I'm going to be doing a different application technique with this concealer. So I'm actually going to be using some colour correction under the concealer. I'm going to be going in with the NYX Cosmetics Colour Correcting Concealer Palette, a mixture of the two salmony shades. And to apply this, I'm going to be going in with the P. Louise Flat Synthetic Brush from the Acid Rain collection. As salmon colours, peachy colours, neutralise blue tones. Underneath my eyes, I've got more blue toned bags. This will just neutralise them. I'll be taking my ring finger now just to warm the product up, which sort of helps it melt into the skin. I'm going to be going in with the e.l.f. 16-hour Camo Concealer in the shade Light Beige. So I'm just going to take this one eye at a time, because in my other tutorial I just left this to dry on the skin and it is actually blending quite easily. So this is the matte formula, guys, by the way. There is a hydrating satin version, but that's actually looking quite nice now. But however, it's definitely not full coverage, as I can still see a shadow underneath, despite the fact that I've colour corrected as well. That puts me off a little bit, not gonna lie. I'm going to be going in with the Peaches and Creams PC 17 brush. I'm using the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder in the shade Light. I've just tipped a little bit into the lid and I've put the brush in, and now I'm just going to be getting off any excess, tapping over the under eye to make sure that the concealer has not creased. I'm going to go back in and repeat that process twice. You actually don't need that much of this concealer. Sometimes when you bake it under eye, it's really hard to get the powder off, but that's because applying powder directly to a wet product, concealer, inevitably it will stick to it. So when you actually do try to dust off the bake, sometimes it will still be stuck there and it won't dust away, and it will show up in photos as like a white shadow. By setting the under eye first, you're actually mattifying the area, and then the bake only brightens the eye when you do the baking after you've set the eye. It's got nothing to stick to because you've already set it and mattified it. Another product that I'm going to be going in with now is the new Revolution Glow. This is the Splendor Ultra Matte Bronzer in the shade Medium. This bronzer, it was £8, I think. It's actually a really, really good product. Like, look at the value considering the size of this bronzer. Gorgeous packaging, it's got a mirror as well. So one thing I do actually love about this product is the smell of the bronzer. It smells very, very fruity, which I've never had in a bronzer before. So I'm going to be going in now with the Peaches and Creams PC 04 brush. I'm just going to be stamping this on. As you can see, it's a very, very pigmented bronzer, so you only need a gentle pressure. A little bit on the forehead, only around the edges for my personal forehead shape. You only need a little bit, and can you imagine how long that product will last if it's this pigmented and it's actually this big. Now, to intensify this contour slash bronzer, I'm going to be going in with the MAC Cosmetics 168 brush. So this is just an angled brush, and I'm just going to be using this brush mainly on the back of the cheekbones. Using this brush mainly just towards the back, so towards the ear and the hairline. And that is just because having the darkest bit of contour towards the ear and to the hairline will give the most natural effect. So that bronzer actually does look a little bit patchy just here. I'm just going to be going in with a clean brush now. This is the Peaches and Creams PC 25 brush, and I'm just going to be dusting over. I'm just doing sweeping motions very gently, and I'm going from the ear to the hollows of the cheekbones. So yeah, that's only one thing I would say about this product, is that it is a little bit patchy, but it's nothing that can't be fixed, and for the value of it and the fact that it's cruelty free and vegan, I think it's definitely worth it. So for blush today, I'm going to be going in with Natural Collection, which I picked up from Boots. This is their powder blusher in the shade Pink Cloud. I'm going to be taking this blush on a Spectrum angled brush. This blush is very pigmented and it was literally £2.20. It's such a bargain buy, but it's actually my new favourite drugstore blushes. I'm just putting some on the apples of the cheeks, but then I'm dusting this blush back into the contour as that looks more natural as well, rather than just having two big circular circles on the cheeks. Highlight now. The palette is all highlighters and blushes from MAC Cosmetics. So I realised that the Revolution Skin Finish in Radiant is very similar and a dupe of the MAC Cosmetics Soft and Gentle, but I thought I needed to share it because you can save a lot of money and it literally, in my opinion, looks the exact same. So this is fair to both highlighters. I'm going to be highlighting today with two eyeshadow brushes which are very similar. On the left hand side I'm going to be using the 228 Luxe Crease Brush by Zoeva, and on the right hand side I'm going to be using the Morphe M518 brush. On the left side I'm going to be going with the Zoeva brush and I'm going to be taking the MAC Cosmetics Soft and Gentle. On the other side, I'm going to be going in with the Morphe brush now, and I'm going to be taking the Revolution. So each Cupid's bow has had a different highlight on, and can you not see the resemblance between those two? To me, they both look very, very similar. Literally, like, I can't actually even tell a difference. Now I'm going to be going in with a lip liner, and I'm going to be using the Melchior Professional Lip Liner Pencil in the shade Brown. For lip colour today, I'm going to be going in with the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink, and this is in the shade Loyalist, which is the number 5. This product, it's, I'd say, a dupe for the Jeffree Star Velour Liquid Lip. Both companies have a lot of shades in each, so I'm not sure what shade this would be a dupe for from Jeffree's line. These lipsticks are amazing. However, Maybelline do test on animals, so that's a downside to these products for me, and something to be aware of if you are trying to be a lot more ethical when buying cosmetics. Let me know what you think down below, or anything you want to see in future videos, then please let me know. This is the finished and completed look. So I am just checking in. It's been about 5 hours this foundation's been on my skin for. So I actually am very, very impressed with the skin. It has not gone patchy in any certain areas that I can see anyway. Bear in mind, I didn't actually set this foundation with any powder. I did do powder contour and I baked underneath and the concealer, but I'm talking about like more the forehead sort of thing. So here and on the nose, that is not being baked. So I haven't actually used a loose setting powder all over the face, and the foundation has dried down lovely. It still looks very, very nice in my opinion. I've also noticed that it's not actually sitting in any fine lines. Not much has changed from about 5 or so hours ago. Would I recommend the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk foundation? Yes, I definitely would. Despite the price, as I've said, I do feel like it's a really, really good foundation, and it's not emphasising any pores as well, which is another key point that plays a part in whether I personally like a foundation. It has lasted all day. Before we leave, don't forget to subscribe and follow me on Instagram, which I will leave on screen as always. There is still time to enter my makeup giveaway, but you will have to go to Instagram or watch my other video on how to enter the makeup giveaway for more details. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next tutorial.